scientists in economy and technology, 41% of the employees of the branch. This differs in the countries of the EU. Norway, Lithuania, and Denmark have over 50%. In Germany, only 1/3 of the employees are women. Germany is beneath the EU average. The lowest country in EU is Luxembourg. In Germany itself, it's the eastern part where there are more scientists, female scientists in economy and engineering. The lowest part is Baden-Württemberg. Women in IT, here is also a very low level in some cases by Apple, Google, Facebook, and Amazon. The percentages differ from 23% with Apple and 19% with Amazon and Facebook. The percentage of women employees in the US in general, to compare this, is about 43%. So half of them only is being deployed or employed in the IT industry. Bulgaria has the highest proportion of women in IT. Women employees in general are 46.9%. In IT, it's 30.3%, followed then by Australia and Romania. But in Germany, women in IT are only 16.6%. Ranking 20th place of 41 countries in the OECD and the EU. In connection to the gender gap, the lowest gender gap in general is 21%. In tech, it's 25% in Germany. So it ranks 30. It has a rank of 31. Turkey, for instance, to compare, has only 8.4% in gender gap. This is very interesting to see. The richest woman in the world comes from China, no wonder, 2 women. In comparison, but to Bezos, Gates, and Zuckerberg, the fortune of those male colleagues are 20 times more. So these are some facts about the topic we are talking today. And now I'm telling you what UTech and Women in Tech at UTech wants to do. They want to make this networking stronger. They want to create global impact, enrich tech companies to create opportunities and achieving greater equality. Who we are: a business catalyst, enable global networking and business expansion, create opportunities for women to advance and accelerate change in commerce. The goal is collaboration, support of 1 million women up to 2030 to meet the objectives. What encourage knowledge exchange brings women to the forefront of future leaders. This is a goal which is very important. We also want to strengthen the woman's role in transformational technologies. But now I also want to introduce or want to give a hint of my board members. These are Rana Okshena, Klaus Misera, Johanna Oszkowka-Roczewski, Sierra von Tucher, and Evelyn Nigiata. Speakers today is, first of all, moderator Svetlana Nyamengo. She is from the Africa Alliance Coordinator, located in Nairobi. Her background is law, human rights, and international development. She worked as African liaison officer with Criminal Justice Organization at The Hague. The next one is Christy Schaus, is founder, managing director at Riso Communications. She comes from Beijing. She's a Beijing-based strategic firm and wants to bridge for global enterprises and the China ecosystem. Partner with disruptive companies, focus semiconductor, RE, robotic, autonomous vehicles, and renewable energy. The next one is Virginia Mears. She's leader in blockchain and crypto industry. She's a firm believer in technology as an economic and social game changer with global impact. She works on application design as well as fintech platforms. She's founder of global consulting firm Innovation Enterprise and many more. The next one is Yassine Sam. She is 11 years now at Google. She is a board professional public speaker of Google. Then Pindive Filtani, she's founder and management chief of board of management of Bazame MBA, South Africa, and also has an experience of 24 years in IT. So I think we have a very expert-driven panel, and I hope I'm looking forward to the discussion today. Thank you. And now give over the words to Maria Alejandra.
Good morning, everyone. Hello to everyone that is joining us today. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to who we are as an organization and what we offer to our advocates. I'm going to be sharing with you my screen, so give me just 1 minute. And if you can confirm, if you can see it, let me know. Do you see my presentation?
Yes, Maria, we see your presentation.
Perfect, thank you. So who we are an independent organization that aims to enable business opportunities. And we do that because we believe that technology obliges. But more than that, we believe that we can actually make a difference. We can make an impact through all those business opportunities. How does it work? We have different alliances, and these alliances have different focuses. The first one is the regional alliances, in which what we do is to take into consideration different aspects that are very important for business opportunities. For example, the culture, the market itself, the different opportunities, and how you can actually approach those that could join forces with you and work together in what you have been developing. The second type of alliances are the ones that we call vertical. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do here is to specialize and be able to get deep into the different industries and sectors that today have a very relevant role in what is happening in the world, as it is the case of the smart cities, environment, for example, food, farming and fisheries, and many others. The last type of alliances that we have inside the chamber are those that we call the impact alliances. And remember that when I start doing this presentation, I told you that it's not just about the enabling those business opportunities, it's as well about how we can contribute to make the difference. And in this case of today, we're going to be talking about how women in tech are doing that. That's why these are let's say, the important relevance about these impact alliances, because it's through them that we're able to make the difference. Now, regarding the different activities that we run during the year, I want to clarify that we are actually the #1 European platform for technology exchange and business network. And we do that with different topics and approaches that we decided together with all the coordinators and directors that we have inside the chamber. And we try to choose the best topics and most important ones of what is happening today. We do have more than 200 webinars per year. We as well are constantly creating different expos. As well, we have more than 50,000 registrants from all around the globe. And the main idea of all of this is not only sharing knowledge, but as well creating awareness. Now, I would like to remind you that as we are one of the leaders in everything that regards tech network, there are many different ways in which you can actually interact and get involved into these activities. You can access to the speakers and the panelists, and this is now an exclusive way to actually get in touch with those that have the knowledge, that have experience in those specific fields. This as well provides the opportunity to understand which are those business opportunities and how you can work together with others. And of course, this is as well another opportunity to understand how you can get involved in the European projects and fundings. We will be very happy to provide you more information, so feel free to reach us, Svetlana, or as well someone else from the team, and we will guide you through the different opportunities inside UTech. Now, another important thing is about our ecosystem. UTech was created by and for the members, and what we do is to offer different tools and programs that are going to help them to grow, to expand their business, and do it in the right way, do it successfully. So just to give you some of the examples, we have the insights, for example, the different articles and contents that we share through the magazine that we do have, as well through the position papers and web papers and newsletters that we are constantly sharing. we as well offer different programs that aim to recognize somehow how does those people that are trying to innovate and making a difference. So as it is the case of the awards, we do have as well other type of programs that support the digital transformation that the companies are aimed to approach today. And as well, we do have another program that has this environmental and sustainability approach, as it is the case of the Climate Action Partnership. We have more programs, but this is not the moment to explain you all the details. Again, if you would like to get to know better about all these tools and programs, feel free to reach us. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is regarding our tech forum, the platform that actually we use for most of all our activities and all the things that we offer. We count with virtual booths, with Red Expo. We do have as well a follower database and digital physical events that will allow you to get in contact with those that actually will be interested in what you do and what you have been doing so far. Now, I thank you all for this time. I wish you a very successful webinar, and the microphone is yours, Svetlana. Have a great webinar.
Thank you very much, Maria, and see you later then. Okay, my name is Svetlana, and today I'm calling from Nairobi. I am the coordinator at the EUTech Chamber. It's my great pleasure to welcome Christy, Yasin, Virginia, and Pindiwe. And just some house rules here. We have a public chat function on the upper left of the screen. Please feel free to pose your questions to the panelists here. You can also interact with the audience and leave a link to your LinkedIn profile for further networking. If you cannot see the screen, please click on the bottom right icon on your screen next to the hand signal. You can be able to restore and minimize the presentations that you are having here today. Now I'm going to give the floor to Christy. When you see your slides up, first I'm going to mute myself to limit background noise. Then I will share my screen. When you see your presentation up, please, your 8 minutes starts.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. Let me pull that up. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, absolutely.
You can see the presentation, right?
Sorry, Christy, I'm sharing the screen, the slides from my side. Should I give you the presentation rights then? Okay, let me give you the presentation rights and then you can share the screen from your side. Just 1 second, I'll do that. And okay, now you have the presentation rights. Go ahead.
I actually. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, you can see your screen now.
You are now on.
But you can't see my presentation, can you?
Not yet, but we can see your screen. You're sharing it.
Okay, I don't think my screen can be shared because I have the screen can be shared because select the device. So if it's possible, you can share it from your end. Is that okay?
Sure, I'll do that. Let me share my screen let me share your presentation from my side. First, I'm going to mute and then I will share your presentation, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. And sorry guys for the hiccup. I think this is the greatest mystery that we're in the technology world where we're trapped with technologies. We can't really figure out how to do those things, but thank you so much. Here's my slides. My name is Christy. So if you can go to the second slide, please. I'm going to do a quick introduction of what I do. And so if you guys have any questions, feel free to send it in the chat or we can have a group discussion later. So I run a Beijing-based strategic solution agency. So we partner with disruptive companies of all sizes to build creative and result-driven programs. So what that means is we help oversee brands to come to China with the right strategy and the right communication skills. So, and we also help for some of the Chinese companies to expand overseas to really understand what are the go-to market like and what kind of the business they want to be in collaboration with and what kind of the consumer they're facing. So we provide a lot of intellectual report as well as execution plans. So in terms of the industry that we're focusing on, it's within semiconductor. So as we all know, semiconductors is such a big range. So within semiconductor, we're highly focused on artificial intelligence, robotic, autonomous vehicle, and renewable energy. So all of those are related within semiconductor. And we are a group, we're a boutique agency. This is my own company. So including myself, it's only 6 of us, but we're all expert in our own field. So we believe that we can, we're proud of our entrepreneurial roots and passionate about championing the technologies of today, tomorrow. So here's a quick introduction of my company. And if you wanted to know more, you can feel free to find me on LinkedIn or write me an email if you have any requests for the China market. So can we go to the next slide, please? And today, since we're in the Women in Tech Alliance room, I'm just going to share something really quick about what's going on in China with women in tech and specifically in the STEM industry. So gender equality in STEM is for a better tomorrow. This is something that we keep talking about, but how are we going to do it and how we can have a better tomorrow just to make sure everyone feel equal within the same environment. So here in China, we say women hold up half the sky. Will technology have no gender? And majority of the time, women feel underrepresented in the industry because as in technology or STEM, we all know it's a really male-driven technology. So we're constantly being challenged into different things and we've been put into a different corner and how we can do that and how we can make our voice heard. So here in China specifically, the government actually provide a lot of subsidies to encourage women in a young age to get into an engineer program or a scientific program or a different mathematical program. So in the private sector nowadays, with a lot of tech giants like Alibaba, Tencent, and Huawei, those are the well-known companies here in China. In those private sectors, they're also offering a lot of STEM field-driven courses student in the future. So I think by doing that, majority of the companies are trying to make the society to understand, within this male-dominated industry, we also wanted to hear about what women have to say. And women are increasingly populating Chinese tech offices. So the data shows that for some of the Chinese biggest internet companies that have at least 40% of the staffs, female staffs. So what I wanted to highlight here is majority of the people will think, okay, so 40% of the female staff, does that include HR, marketing? So those are the departments that we know is populated by women. But this 40% of a female staff, they're saying is addressed to in engineer, in the coding sort of the department, not limited to the HR and the marketing department. So I think majority of the tech companies are doing a lot of push into that sector and make sure everyone understand we need more women in the STEM industry. We need sort of a balance in this sort of ecosystem. And then the next slide, please. So specifically how we can do that. So I think personally as a woman in the tech industry, what I'm usually looking for is a support. So I think a supporting system is very important for one another, especially in the tech industry. So with the 3 ways how we can support each other. First of all, it's a challenge. So I want to talk about it from 2 aspects. One is from a professional, the other one is from personal. So from the professional point of view, I think the 3 ways to retain a woman in the STEM industry is below as a challenge, connect, and invest. So challenges is to really understand what kind of assignment that they're getting, and do they have the right skill for that assignment, or what kind of skills that they need to require for that assignment in order for them to complete. And if they don't have the specific skill to finish that assignment, within the company or within the community, do we have some sort of support system to support that, to support the individuals? And then the second one is connect. Connect is by connecting within the firm and connection within your community. So here in China, especially for the first tier cities, we have a lot of women in tech communities. So I'm actually head of one of the communities called Viva. So what we do is we gather all the professional women into one place once a month to talk about what they've done so far and what are the challenges that they have and how do they conquer the problem, or if they do have any problem or questions or problem or issues, are they looking for a solution? How can we help them to find that solution or provide a solution for them? So, and then we also, within our community, we also have a lot of female leaders in the Fortune 500 companies who are based in Beijing. For some of the leaders from Microsoft, from Boeing, Airbus, and from some of the other entertainment industries as well. So they come together and share some of their professional experience with the new, with the up and rising women. So I think connect and to be connected is very important as well. And especially for SMEs, to get connected with others and to have that kind of a community is very important as well. So we can help each other to figure out the best solution for the client. And then the last one is invest. So for invest, I think we need to, from a professional standpoint, as a company, they need to invest more into women to provide the right amount of the maternity leave when they have a child, to provide a comfortable environment by investing into a right mindfulness center. Because right now here in China, with a lot of companies, they do have a mindfulness center. It's for people who work there, if they're under a lot of stress, they're free to go into the center and have a session, have a coach session. So it helps them to clear something up and then to have 100% back to work. And also to invest into some of the courses, to have the right skill or to upgrade themselves into a better skill-setted person to get involved into that work. So those are from the professional standpoint. But from the personal perspective, I think those three ways are still apply. So from a personal perspective, I think doesn't matter what we're dealing with on a daily basis, there's always challenge, connection, and invest. So we need to invest ourselves to be more equipped into this new world, especially after COVID. Everything is changing so fast and we're adapting into a new environment. So we need to constantly invest ourselves into learning new things and adapt into a new environment, and try to find the right community and the right supporting system to connect with one another. And the challenges is, I think there is a challenge every day. I just need to see it through from a different lens. And here, especially after COVID, there's a lot of people lose their jobs. So some of the women, especially for women, majority for women, decide to go back to their hometown or go back home and then they set up their own working environment. So live streaming right now is really popular here in China. So some of the women decide to start their own company and then start a live streaming channel to distribute some of the stuff from their hometown. So I think that's the best way to deal with the challenges, to find something you like as at the same time, it's something that is suitable for the current investment. So I think here it's a little bit things that I could share here from China and how women dealing with ourselves in a tech environment. I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for listening.
Constantly push yourself to learning new things and adapting to new environment and finding the right community to support you. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much, Christy. And now we'd like to learn from Yasin. Yasin, I know that you are a champion in equity and inclusion, and also you're a voice for diversity. I'm very eager to learn from you how you are spearheading women in technology at Google. Please, I'm going to mute myself first, and then when you see your slides up, please take the stage.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just to make sure you're hearing me, the slides are showing nicely. Thank you, Svetlana. Good morning and welcome to my living room in Helsinki. My name is Yasin Samb and I'm a lone daughter of a Senegalese father and a Finnish mother, born and raised in Ivory Coast. I identify myself as a Black woman. I've been working at Google, yes, for 11 years. I am a board of director, a board of professional in companies in Finland, and a public speaker using my voice for friendlier societies and better leadership. Before diving into my few slides, I want to thank Dr. Beatrice and the EU Tech Women in Tech Alliance for organizing this webinar and inviting me. And obviously, it's such a privilege to be part of this great experienced panel today. When I started my career at Google in marketing 11 years ago, I remember how all we tried to land was the message and the importance of the fourth industrial revolution. We talk about digital transformation. We were talking about assisting technology, people having 26 gadgets or internet-linked devices by 2025, and how the growth of mobile actually is going up. However, 2 years ago, after the murder of George Floyd, my perspective to this narrative changed completely. And thus, I want to walk you through how closing the diversity and gender gap in technology became actually my key passion to drive business growth and create digitally inclusive societies with Google. Next slide, please. So the change is currently the change has already happened, right? It's well summarized on this slide. We are online all the time and we live online. Our mobile devices that all of us have are not only gadgets, but they are part of us and our consumer behavior. Next slide, please. If we look at how people are using their mobile devices, people are looking at their phones 150 times per day, and this data is a bit outdated. So what we actually see from a marketing perspective, which was the industry that I first joined, in the marketing industry before, when you try to reach a customer, you had an idea of who your customer were, you went to the media house, for example, TV, and you said, my target audience is women, 25 years in suburban areas interested in travel. And we booked media placements where we thought they might be looking. However, the revolution of digital transformation and the fast nature of consumers has turned this all on its head, because we can't really rely on instinct, assumptions to ensure that we are delivering the most impactful message to the most relevant users. So if we fail to do that as companies, usually will punish us by taking their time and money elsewhere. And today we are the complete opposite of that spectrum, where actually you have too much data, information, and insights about customers. And we're almost paralyzed what to do with it. So it's not to say that we have perfect information, but we have to start somewhere and get the basics right to deliver content for the needs of our users. Next slide, please. When you look at the wider ecosystem of products and the company's mission, Google is a big part. Google is obviously a big part, scaling the massive reach that we have across the internet. We now have over 7 products that have 1 billion users. Actually, YouTube has 2 billion users. And if you look at Maps, it's even more used than Facebook. Depending on whether I'm wearing my marketing hat or a DEI hat, the objective is more or less still the same: democratizing access to information or technology and creating products for everyone. However, after contributing to crisis efforts at Google, I realized that there is another power of our products, which is now directly linked to my career. So when crisis hits, when there is a crisis, a pandemic, a flooding, terror attack, you name it, all the issues that we've been facing in the past few years, people always seek first for information. As said, where it's about a wildfire or how far it is from your own home, or a terror attack and getting information about your close ones, the first thing is to get information. So this purpose has actually then become my purpose, and I've been leading race equity work for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And as you know, we have this strange word of EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But if you look at it from a diversity and human rights perspective, we're actually talking about a region where, for example, the definition of Black is very different. Being Black is a minority in Finland, while being Black in Senegal is a majority. The definition is Black is also very different across the continent. And to actually be able to create products for everyone and be present in the moments, not only in marketing, but when information is needed, it requires internal diversity from our company. And we need to understand, how do we create products for everyone? So if you go to the next slide, we already saw the data. There are a few numbers, for example, from binary gender perspective that still don't add up. Looking only from a Finnish perspective, I often think about 3 categories when I look at diversity. One, how many persons from the underrepresented group do we see in leadership positions? What is the pipeline? In Finland, only 1/3 of scientists and engineers are women. That's an important one and a different problem to solve. And then third one, retention and progression growth. Women are more likely to be 35 and still in a junior position. So senior leadership representation, the pipeline potential and market representation, and then retention and progression. Next slide, please. And why? Because doing good makes business sense. We have several researches where we can see that we can get more profit for companies that have higher representation in senior teams, and there is more return on investment where the company is led by a woman. Going to the next slide, please. What we do at Google, we approach this as any other business case. We set clear goals and objectives and key results. We create dedicated, expert, and well-resourced teams and put in action clear initiatives. Then we track the progress regularly, and we actually publish these numbers as well publicly. Everything we do is driven by data, and these KPIs we pay most attention to. Obviously, the data and representation comes first, but we only discover this figure by understanding the equation of hiring minus attrition. So even here, the work lies on leadership tables, and we look at representation, hiring, attrition, and leadership representation. Going to my very final slide, please. I want to remind that everyone still has a responsibility in this. Those with more position of power have the ability to drive systemic change, and thus the previous slide, but the responsibility lies on everyone in terms of allyship. And I would like to summarize it in the biggest learning that I have gained throughout this journey, which is the AAA model when I work on racism and race equity: awareness, anti-racism education, and action. And in that order, whether we're talking about people with disability, trans, race, it applies for all. You need to be aware, you need to educate yourself, and only then you can take action. Thank you.
No, thank you, Yasin.
You are now
We
on
need to
music.
be aware. We need to educate ourselves, and only then can we take action. But also, I've loved something that you mentioned. You said we look at our mobile phones 150 times a day. It made me do an individual tally of myself, how many times I look at my phone. Yeah, so that's a great takeaway. So to you now, Virginia, you are a tech evangelist, and you're empowering education through those also the digital projects in your industry. I'm very curious in your introduction here today to learn about the history of women in technology and how women can contribute to the new digital economy. The stage is yours, Virginia.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you everyone for this opportunity to talk about the women in technology. I would like to share my screen for the presentation. Just a minute.
Sure. Just let me give you the rights, okay? Just a second.
Or maybe you can upload.
No. It's fine. I've given you the presentation rights then. Or you can just take us through the talk in the meantime. If you cannot upload, just take us through the talk, okay?
Yes, because I can't.
Okay, just take us through the presentation.
You are now unmuted. You can see my presentation?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, let me upload it on my side, but in the meantime, you can start with the introduction, okay?
Thank you, Esperanza. Well, I would like to introduce myself. I work in the sector in technology around 25 years. And now I am involved in the new emerging technologies in different countries in different involvements with the news in transformations about the technology that impact in the world. And in this moment, I think that it's a very good opportunity for the women in the technology. Svetlana, can you share my presentation?
Yes, now I see it now. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Sure, let me mute myself first. Sorry, I was about to forget that.
Thank you. Now, thank you very much, Svetlana. Well, in the first question that I would like to introduce is how is the visibility about the woman during the story in the technology? You know that there are a lot of the women that really it's very impact the contribution in the technology, but it's not visibility the challenge, not visibility really the opportunities that for these transformations in the tech from the women. I would like to put the example, for example, in this case about Lady Lamar. Lady Lamar is the recognition about the women that really to enter the system about Wi-Fi. During these years, she registers the patent about this challenge about the communications. She was an actress in the Hollywood, very recognized, and the involvement in this moment say to her, really you can really to go on the way in your space about the contribution about the actors in the Hollywood, but is you really are you inventor? This is the question. And after during the years, really the patent about the Wi-Fi that the owner was by Eddie Lamar, it's improved, and then it's at the beginning of that start the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi now is one of the transformation digital in our story. You know that in the 19 during this year, just we started with internet. But now we are in the middle about the new transformation, about the generation, about Web3, and also all the impact in the environment, about the data, about the really all the device. The biggest transformation during these years is that we are past now the in the moment that we create Web 2.0, that this is the biggest challenge, because we connected a lot of the device, we connected really the social environment, and also all the communications. But now we are at the beginning with this transformation digitally in Web3. Really, one of the challenges is, of course, is the connectivity about the Wi-Fi with the device, and this part is very important now in our moment, because with the basis about the technology, we can connect it a lot, and also to develop products and services with the decentralization in the basis of the technology. You can pass, please, next slide. Thank you. Well, in this case is an example, that is story that how the women can enter in the technology in a scenario, but in this case is not ever the recognition about really the impact that the woman can in this case can bring to the opportunity for this transformation in the digital. But now in the new scenario, just is not the same moment, because you know that now there are a lot of the women, there are a lot of the consortium, a lot of the networking, that it's empower the role of the woman in the technology. Next slide, please. Thank you. In this case, how can a woman contribute to the new technology? Really, we can see the way about the inclusivity about the woman and also the diversification in the new economy. The cooperation and the collaboration for in the environments is essential, and also ensure the representation not only in the public and the private sector, also in the environment about in the dependency, for example. And I think that it's a good point to create a non-interrupted about the culture. Now we are living a moment that we are engagement diversity, multicultural, and diversity teams for this rich environment, for really to build the new structures and the new moment with the impact in the economic and social, with the new technologies and decentralization and well, all this new economy digital. You know that we are enter now with tokenomics. We are entering now with decentralization of finance and DeFi, and also we are building with another space about the crypto space. But all this part about the new economy, really it's open to expansive for this way about the decentralization, and also the woman can really to take a paper for the contribution with the new economy. And in this case is really a good opportunity, a good way for really to build this bridge with other communities, with other countries, that the women can really to engagement for empower the new system about the new economy, to invest in the projects, investment with new startups, and also to support with the basis about the networking. Next slide, please. Svetlana, thank you. And how can we create really an interpreted culture of the woman visibility and participation in the technology? Well, in this moment, we can see a lot of the networkings, a lot of the forums that we can share in knowledge. The knowledge in the technology, in the tech is very important now because we are with the technology's emergence. There are a lot of the improvements, a lot of the really trainings, a lot of the understand really how the technology can impact in our lives, in our business, and also the sharing knowledge is very important. In other activity, in other possibility is to be part about the activities about the forums for this part, for the knowledge, and also for the contributors about this expertise for the women. And for example, welcome to share the possibility to write articles in tech, white papers, the white papers that supported also a lot of the projects in tech, and the visibility in events, digital talks, podcasts, and interviews, and to be part in different panels with the women can be represented. Also, this part about the mentoring and training for access at the new technologies supported by the funds, the program funds that not only in the European funds and also the investors, private investors, or maybe programs that is in direction about the supported the projects for the women in tech. In this case, Escalate the Global. This is the biggest opportunity for the woman to connect with other space in that the woman in tech is very representative with different possibilities about the making decision and also to introduce in different environments.
Sorry to interrupt, Virginia, but
So,
we are running out of time. Maybe some 2 minutes to conclude. And
yes, I can finish in the next slide. Thank you. And in this case, how really in this space that we can also do to empower the visibility of the woman, the participation in technology, and also empower the new jobs that in diversity in the culture and also in the space about in the space and the new technologies. Next slide, please, Svetlana. Thank you very much. And which is the challenge, which is the top motivators for the women, Santo, also enter in the investing in the technology. Really, we can grow in this case, we can build in a financial security for my family, for my startup, for really to grow in my money long term, and also develop develop all these environments about business as a leader in the entrepreneurship is a good opportunity for the women in this moment, because there are a lot of the startup fintech, the areas about fintech that or new products and services in the space of the technologies. And also we can a lot of the challenge because the lack of sufficient knowledge, the reservations, and uncertainty, the time or the situation, the environment, that, for example, the situation last in the COVID, no? There are a lot of the in this case, the challenge that the woman needs to improve, no? Next slide, please, Svetlana. But we are now in the biggest opportunity because we are entering the new technologies in the space of, for example, fintech NFTs. The market is the really sector that is emerging sector with a lot of the investment, about billions in investment in the technology space, about the sectors in gaming, metaverse. You know that really the impact that this year is grown in this space. The technologies also as blockchain and AI, and also the decentralization social networking. This part is very important for the new ways for the women. There are a lot of them now ecosystem for women, as for example, in this case, women all-in woman. There are women who got all this part about really that the woman is representative and is creative for entering the technology. Now we are in this moment that really the women can to take a biggest opportunity to represent it in the new technologies. And well, I think that the challenge is to building together this way for the visibility of the woman, for empower the women in the technologies, because the technology now is a biggest transformation in our story, and there are really building a new sector, new industries, and the woman can be really take a paper for the biggest representation in the technology. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Virginia. And now, Pinde, I know that since you've established Mbasane, you've been unearthing opportunities in ICT solutions. I'm also keen to learn the skills development that you're doing and also the training opportunities that you're engaging in to keep up with the technology trends. So now I'm going to unmute myself again, sorry, and then I'll show you slides, please. When you see your presentation, take the floor. Your 8 minutes starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Svetlana. I'd like to thank the EU Tech for inviting Mbasane to be part of this forum this morning. As the company name says, Mbasane Women in IT, we are in the right platform where we share what we do in IT and why it is important for us to be in this space. You can go to the next slide. Okay, just an introduction about who Mbasane is. I am the woman behind the company. I am the founder and managing director of Mbasane Women in IT. The company was founded in 2013 in South Africa. We're based in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal province. I am the 100% female owned, which is owned by me. And our focus is mainly on the upskilling unemployed ICT graduates and mainly women. I'm putting that in brackets to be clear that we are not looking at everyone. We are mainly looking at women. I'm not saying one day we'll not accommodate one man here or there, but the focus for us is to make sure that we take the unemployed ICT graduates who have had an opportunity to study, but they cannot get jobs. And the question there is, why are they not getting jobs? We feel that there is a gap between what they get from the varsity and what the industry is looking for. So we work with the industry players, the leaders within the ICT space. We look at the companies that have the opportunities, the companies that are looking for the skill, and then we collaborate with the IT players, IT leaders like Microsoft, Huawei, and AWS, and we look for the skills that they are offering, and we upskill our graduates. Within the ICT space or within South Africa, if you want to play in the training space, you need to be accredited. And we've got accreditation with the SETA Education and Training Authorities. One of them is MICT, which is Media Information and Communications Technology. That gives us a stamp that we are an accredited company. We follow the rules. We do things by the book. And we also accredited with the Services SETA. And the reason why we branched into Services SETA is because we believe that we cannot just train people in ICT. People need to have the soft skills. They need to understand how to communicate. They need to understand how they conduct themselves within the industry. When they join organizations expect a certain conduct. So we make sure that our IT graduates, when they come out of our environment, training and joining the mainstream, are fully equipped within the skills. And we've also got the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations. That's part of compliance. We operate nationally within South Africa as we offer virtual and in-person programs. And those are just the company details. You can email us if you need more information. And that's our website. Please go to the next slide, Svetlana. What is the view of the market in South Africa in terms of women in ICT? There's a publication by PwC on women in IT that says, despite decades of progress towards achieving equality in the workplace, women remain significantly underrepresented in emerging tech. That is not a question, or that is not a discussion point. It is a fact. This is something that is happening, and all the speakers that have spoken before me, they have already elaborated on this, and this is something that is happening globally. The strides have been made by many, but the gap remains too wide to close. So what do we need to do? We need to look at this and see what is it that we can do. Technology still remains in the forefront in all industries. So it doesn't matter which company or which organization technology is there. Women are there. It's not like there's a lack of women. It's just that some women are not recognized. But we also need to make sure that we move women from the point where they are to go to the higher levels. The new trends are forcing companies to review the way they work. COVID-19 has shown us that it's not all possible to do things and going to the office. And therefore, for technology, this was the highlight where we need to make sure that we improve on the way we do things. Companies had to review how they operate. Some companies have vacated the buildings that they've been operating in, because it can be done wherever you are. Here we are now, we are in different countries around the world, but we are all connecting and conducting this through the platform. So it is a fact that women need to be recognized, and women need to take part and be part of the women of the technology industry. Please move to the next slide. What are the recommendations? This is from a personal perspective. I must say the stats is there. They've been conducted. Companies go out and look at the numbers, and it is a fact that women are not there. What I believe is needed is inclusion. And what do I mean by inclusion? It means that women need to be included in leadership. Women need to be recognized, and they need to be acknowledged. It's not that women are not capable. Women are capable, but sometimes women are not given the voice to be to have a say in these organizations. So inclusion is important both in the public sector and private sector. And we need to make sure that we as women stand for ourselves and we voice our opinions. And it's not like we don't belong there. We do belong, but we need to make sure that we take the seat at the tables. The second part for me is the joint effort in closing the skills gap. This is not just something that can be done by one person. It is not public sector responsibility. It is not just private sector. It is a joint responsibility. Everybody needs to make an effort in closing the skills gap. How do you need to do this? You need to take somebody, hold them by hand, and make sure that you do your part. We must all be deliberate and do what we can to lift one another. That is my belief. It's not something that you need to look at the person next door, look at the person that government should do this, private sector should do this. What are we doing as individuals? If we believe that women belong to this sector and any other sector, what are we doing to make sure that women do get included? So it is our responsibility, and we need to make sure that we're doing it because we believe in it and we can do it. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Hey, sorry, it takes a moment to come back to the main room. And what I've loved from your presentation, Pindio, is that let us not wait for the government or for the private sector to do it. Let us do it on our own. Maybe one last question before we close. I see we have 1 minute to the end of our talk here today. And just how do you handle doubt in your work, in your space as women in technology? Maybe one of you can go ahead and unmute and address the question. No one? Okay, sorry. Maybe I just repeat the question. How do you handle doubt?
Yeah, I just eat a lot of candies. I said I just eat a lot of candies to make sure that I have enough energy to power myself back up. Lots of coffee helps too in the morning. But how do I handle doubt? Mainly, I think it's just a lot of support. I share my doubts with some of my friends who are also female entrepreneurs in a tech world. So we kind of help each other and support each other just to get the word out. But I see Yasin is wanted to say something.
Yes, sure. Go ahead, Yasin, and I'm stealing that motivation, Christy.
Yeah, I think like
Yasin.
plus 1,000 kudos to the coffee one. Finns drink most coffee per person in the world. So kudos to that. I think what I love personally and what really took me to this industry is data. And many times when there is doubt in work, we manage to use data, and we have the opportunity to use data perhaps to validate historical events and see if there is something that we can learn from history. But usually doubt is related to something that is future and action. So sometimes looking at the data available helps us and keeping that lens to keep the facts instead of emotions and the system two. One only taking over, but actually activating system two and the logical thinking and how to really analytically solve something for. But coffee first.
Coffee first. I love that. We have come to the end of our talk here today. Please feel free also, panelists, to leave your contact links in the public chat so that any question that has not been addressed, someone can reach out to you later and address them. Now, in appreciation to being panel here with us, this is the part that my Benjamin or Yol comes in, but I'll do the honors today. We have a tree here planted for Yasin Sam. This is for the EU Tech Climate Action Partnership, as Maria introduced earlier. During the start of the webinar, we have one for Pindiwe Filtane, we have one for Virginia, and lastly for Christine Zhao. I'm going to share this certificates in an email that will be sent out shortly after this webinar. I would like to thank you all for the time taken to prepare and to be present here today, and for the insights that you have shared. And for me, I think it is bye-bye for now. Thank you so much, audience, for making this presentation lively, and look out for the after-event post on LinkedIn. Ciao for now.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely end of the day.
Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.